Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to balance out all of the bad news out there with some good news and good people and good guests and just things to balance out all of that headline. We don't do headlines here, so if you're looking for a place to what's going on, it's almost always negative. You're going to get heartlines here. And you're going to get really interesting people who return to my studio. This morning, I do have someone. You saw him. I can't believe it's almost a year ago when I first had David Christopher Lee on my show. And those of you who do remember, he's an example of how good social media can be. Because with all the, complaints about social media being, distracting, mean, a waste of time. There are some benefits for sure. And this relationship is definitely a good part of social media connection. He approached me a year ago and said, I'd like to do a feature on you on David's guide. And I said, how much? Because people have been kind of taking advantage of that influencer space and, if you want to be featured anywhere, you have to pay money. And he's like, no, I just thought you were interesting and wanted to do a more in-depth look at you. And so I was delighted to read, and those of you who've been on the social, he's got a very prolific social. He's got more than one page. I didn't realize that until I was looking for the article. And he's a celebrity photographer. He's done 17 magazine. He does a lot of red carpets. He is a SEO expert. What am I missing here? He is a sought after photographer. He just did, we have something else in common, because I don't know if you took the portrait of Prince Mario Max, but I noticed that on your page, he was the MC host of that luxury red carpet thing you did before the Oscars.
Oh, I haven't worked with Mario Max, but we're friends.
Okay, so yeah, I saw that that mention in the Hollywood Reporter, and I went, I wonder if you saw my friend Mario Max. That yeah.
Mhm.
But let's see, did I forget anything?
That's basically it. And I'm a writer too, so.
And a writer, and a very good writer. So please welcome to my studio, back to my studio, David Christopher Lee.
Thanks so much for having me. It's good to be back.
It is, and I'm excited about hearing some of the things that you've been doing. One in particular is a trip that he took where there was no social, and we'll get to that. Before we do that, you know the drill. Breakfast with me in the morning with my guests, with my co-hosts, and with myself. Top of the bun, gratitudes. What are you grateful for outside of yourself? Bottom of the bun, what are you grateful for inside of yourself? Working that muscle of self-appreciation, self-love, self-soothing. So I'm pretty sure I did this with you a year ago. So you're an old hat now.
Mhm.
And I'll start. I am grateful for my very smartphone where I can do Dr. Marissa reporting live. I'm in San Diego, as you can see, not in studio, but I can take my studio with me wherever I go. And I am down here grateful for Greg Reed, friend, part of his family that puts on this amazing Yahoo Finance #1, uh, uh, Forbes #1 business event not to miss. And looking forward to that. But I get to do my shows on the road, and I'm grateful for that. What are you grateful for, David?
I'm grateful to have freedom, just to be able to go wherever I want and not have a full-time job, and just have the freedom to do whatever I want. I think it's amazing.
Yes, yes, we both share that feeling. It is a great feeling.
Mhm.
I am grateful for coffee in the morning, even when I'm traveling, and found out my hotel has even flavored creamer.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm grateful for flavored creamer. My kids tease me all the time that I like coffee with my creamer. So
Well, I'm also grateful for meditation, to be able to get rid of all the crazy thoughts in my head. It's like taking out the trash.
yes, yes, I am grateful as well for whenever I have a really good meditation, I seem to do better in Wordle as well. So I
Mhm.
got my Wordle in 3 guesses this morning, so that was kind of cool.
Mhm.
Let's go to the bottom of the bun. What do you like about yourself? And this isn't part of the good life habit, the hashtag Blisscipline. Before you go to bed at night, what I'd like you to do instead of thinking about the day and all the things I forgot to do or didn't finish or, who done me wrong, but if we actually focus and choose thoughts like, you know what? I did a great job, blank, or I'm a kind person. And these are all things that you can say, not 100% of the time, but 88% of the time, things that you're good at. That way, you're working your muscle of self approval, which then allows you not to be looking all the time for likes in the wrong places, literally. Who likes me on social media, and that horrible, horrible thing that you just talked about in your head, like it's never enough.
Mhm.
And so, the way that I have encouraged my coaching clients and friends and whoever will listen is that when we can go, good job, or, you're pretty darn good, or good job, mama. I do that a lot so that it really doesn't matter so much what people say about me. Compliments and criticisms are icing on the cake, but I bake my cake. So, David, with that long preamble on appreciation, what do you like about yourself?
I'm good at being authentic to myself, and I've been that pretty much my whole entire life. So there's been ups and downs where people have told me things and I've kind of listened, but now I really, really know that when I believe in something, that I should just follow my path and just do what I feel, because
Mm.
it's my heart.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll do a little aside. Obviously, David is Swedish like me. Just kidding. Hashtag Asian Pride, and I think we talked about this last time. What flavor of Asian, which is a little irreverent, but I think it's cute. So I do that. I'm Chinese with a dash of Mongolian, so don't piss me off. And
Mhm.
you
I'm Chinese.
are Chinese as well too. Did we
Mhm.
talk about I've had 1,355 podcast shows, so that's my excuse. Did we speak Chinese together last time?
No, because I don't speak Chinese.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Then I won't break out into Mandarin with you. But you're how many generations
Third
here?
generation.
Third generation.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with the cultural norm of don't toot your own horn, don't uh, brag about yourself, the nail that stands up is hammered down? Did you have that at all?
Luckily, not so much. I mean, my parents were pretty open, and they were like, they just kind of guided me in different places, but they didn't really like force me to do anything.
Okay. Yeah. This particular exercise, the bottom of the bun is really good for those of us who did grow up with that. It's not easy to. I'm glad that I think you're also in that generation that's not so um, hampered by some of the shackles, I would say, of not being able to soothe yourself and not being able to listen to your own guidance and stuff. So, hmm. Oh, that a plane just went over. That's what happened.
Oh
I was
wow!
like, what is that feedback? That's the plane.
There's a motorcycle out my window, so
Oh, okay, between the two of us.
yeah. Mhm.
All right. What else do you like about yourself?
Um, I just like being creative. I've been able to anything that I want to do, I just figure out how to do it, and then it's more fun.
I share that with you. I appreciate my ability to have fun. I think that it hasn't always been like this. I think literally I was not a recovering overachiever until maybe as late as 7 or 8 years ago. But I remember, I mean, I love everything that I do, 8 jobs, love every aspect, 88% of the aspects of all of that. But I remember that day when I said, what do I actually do for fun? And what do I like to do? So I appreciate my ability to discover games. I love playing games. I love mahjong. That's my go-to fun that I try to do once a week at
Wow.
least.
I haven't
So
played that in ages, but I love mahjong too.
you
It's
do?
yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are you located? You're
I'm in downtown LA.
downtown LA. Okay.
Mhm.
Did you play 16 tile or 13? Hong Kong style
I
or
think
Taiwan style?
16. I think I did
Six,
16. Yeah.
16?
Mhm.
Okay. So next time I pull a game together, I'll invite you down
Okay,
for a
sounds like fun.
refresher.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. A lot
Mhm.
of fun. All right. And I like that I am innovative. I love looking for the problem is not a problem. It's just a question waiting to be answered. And I love that every single moment of my life, there's something that I can uh, be like a detective for. So
Mhm.
it's fun that way. All right. That's it for breakfast. Thanks for joining us. I promise if you do this for 28 consecutive days, with or without me on the air, live every weekday morning, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining David and I for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day. It's like Seinfeld. It's nothing. No. There's no specific topic today, but I did want to catch up with David. He's had some very interesting trips, one in particular that I've wanted him to talk to me about. And as soon as he started telling me, I'm like, wait for the show, wait for the show. So here it is. And tell me where you went and what that was like in your you went as a photographer, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah. So tell me about that trip.
So one of my good friends, his name is Alon Torres, and he's a shaman, and he really helped me with my whole meditation and spiritual journey. And he asked me if I wanted to photograph the Mamos tribe in Colombia. They're an indigenous tribe, and they're known as the keepers of the universe. So of course I said yes, because this was like a National Geographic type of situation. So just to tell you, they're so remote. So to get there, I had to fly to Bogota, which is about, I think that's like 6 hours or something like that, Bogota, and then a 2-hour flight to Santa Marta, and then a 6-hour bus ride, and then a 6-hour car ride, a 6-hour Jeep ride at 6 miles an hour. So it's,
What?
yeah, it's
Six-
like,
Because there's no road?
yeah, well, there's roads, but they're just, you know, they're really bumpy. They're just like dirt roads, and it's in the mountains. So it's like, it's extremely bumpy. So the region is the Sierra Nevadas, where they intersect the equator. And I didn't know that the Sierra Nevadas were so long. I guess they go all the way down to Argentina. But so this was in Colombia. And so when we were there, we didn't have any electricity. The Mamos tribe are they're the most chill, the most just relaxing type of people I've ever been around. They don't really talk to you, but you could just feel their energy, their aura, and they could just basically, I just feel like they're talking to you without talking to you.
Mm.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Mamos.
Okay.
Yeah. So they showed me all their meditation spots. We went on many hikes with them. They showed me all their ceremonies. And my friend Alon actually got married there. So he was the first, he and his wife Kaylee were the first non-Mamos people to ever get married with the traditional Mamos ceremony. So that was really special.
Wow.
Yeah, we were there for 2 weeks, and we didn't have any electricity. So that was really like the first time in my life where I was able to connect with nature, to connect with myself, connect with source, and really have a lot of thinking to myself, because usually I'm just like, no matter where we are, you know, we have Wi-Fi, we have electricity, we have a lot of external energy that's just like fighting us. So this was amazing to be isolated in nature.
Yeah, I definitely won't be going there. I'm allergic to camping and hiking, anything that is dirt. And it sounds like there was a lot of that, which is great
Yes.
for
And
you.
with
I'm really
mosquitoes.
glad
There's
that
a lot
you're
of
doing the
mosquitoes.
report out, because that's definitely not my Sedona. I've done and I love it, and I you know, I'm glad I did that. But I know myself that would be not my version of fun. Now go back just a second. So the shaman that taught you meditation,
Mhm.
is he from that tribe?
No, he's not. He's actually from Los Angeles, but he's been working with them for a while. So this was the first time that he was able to bring a group of people out there.
Okay, so he's from the Los Angeles tribe. No, I'm kidding. So I'm curious how you found him and how that was, you know, so I can sort of do the historical connection.
Oh, I mean, I just met him through one of my friends in LA. So
And you were introduced to him as someone who taught meditation, or
yeah, just someone who taught meditation, but then we became really good friends when he was living in LA.
and what's the definition? I've had a couple of shaman on the show, so I'm just curious as the definition of shaman that he is using.
So he's studied with many tribes in South America,
Okay.
and that's where he learned his craft. And yeah, that's pretty much it. He knows how to move energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is that? The word for Mother Nature, Cucina. Let's see. I'm sorry, what?
Gaia.
Daya. There's Gaia, Daya, and there's
Yeah.
another one. Anyways, that I learned in Peru. So I
Mm.
was just curious to see if it was the same term, but I completely have forgotten it. So
Mhm.
doesn't matter. But okay, so then he took his craft. Did he get some of his craft from the Mamos tribe?
Well, they've just been working together for the
Okay.
past, yeah.
Okay. And they don't have any Western influence, it sounds like, or very
No,
little.
no, nothing. I mean, they barely even go into the city. So yeah, they're very isolated.
Interesting. Like, is this one of very few in the world?
Yeah, I mean, they're an indigenous tribe. So
Okay.
I mean, there's many indigenous tribes, but not a lot, and there's fewer and fewer and fewer because
Right.
the new generations tend to want to go into the city, and then they lose the culture, and
Right.
that's just what's been happening.
Right. Right. But there's been no, thank goodness, religious infiltration to try to convert or,
I'm
civilize.
I'm sure there has been, but I think it's mainly because of their geography. So the Sierra Nevada is where they intersect the equator. So to get there is just so hard. So I think it's just tough for people to go over there and try to convert them.
Hmm. What what would you say are the top similarities that you could sort of connect with a tribe? You don't speak their language, you're getting to learn them. You said they were speaking to you without speaking to you. What were the things that were kind of like in common with your experience, and then what, on the opposite side, what surprised you or you were curious about?
I just felt like they were one. It's almost like they communicate telepathically, and they communicate with the earth, and they are true and authentic to themselves. So no matter what comes at them, whatever kind of problems that they have, and I don't even know what kind of problems they have, but somehow they just trust themselves and trust the universe, and everything comes together. And that's something that I believe in too.
So how do they eat? Where do they get their food? Did you see, like, what do they wear? Do they, is it hunter gatherer? Is it, a social network? Any of that?
So I never actually saw them eat, but we had somebody cooking for us. But what I saw them do was they would chew on cocoa leaves, which are the leaves that they make cocaine with. They just chew on cocoa leaves all day, and chew on tobacco, and they literally just did that all day long.
Wow.
Yeah, and they have
Well,
a lot of energy too. One of um, one of the elders um, came to visit us, and they said that he was walking for like 12 hours just to go visit us. So, and I think when they're traveling, they're just chewing on those cocoa leaves. So I think that's a very powerful source of energy. And the cocoa leaves,
interesting.
yeah. So I did some research on the cocoa leaves, and obviously they're illegal now because you can create cocaine with them, but they're filled with antioxidants and energy, and they're very healing. So I think they're an amazing source of energy.
Yeah, that is interesting. Like a natural high
Yes.
that
Mhm,
that we kind of corrupted.
mhm, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And do they wear clothes?
Yeah. They wear these. They wear white outfits. Or I can show you.
I'm learning this through your eyes and your travels. This is great because I know I'm never going to that dirt.
Mhm.
I did go to Latin America Oh, wow. Here, let me put my. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, no fig leaves kind of thing. It's like
So,
they are dressed
yeah.
and beautifully. Wow. That is so cool.
And these are the mochicos, those bags, and the women make them. They're called the Zaga. The women are called the Zaga. The men are called the Mamos.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and they're part of the Kogi tribe. So the Kogi tribe is there's like 4 different types of Kogis,
Uh-huh.
and they're called the Mamos. So this is the Sierra Nevadas, and you see how beautiful that is with the mountain
Mm-hmm.
clouds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, who's that?
I think that's my picture. Oh, that's my yeah, that's my picture. I don't know. She's one of the Zagas, and it's kind of
Wow.
funny because she looks like my grandmother.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
Yeah.
That is super cool. That is super cool. Is this the first time they've had photos taken of themselves?
It's not the first. I think probably from a professional photographer, but there's a lot of pictures of them online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did they see their own pictures that you took?
I showed them on my
And
camera. Yeah, they
they,
liked it.
what was their reaction?
Yeah, they were like, ooh, nice.
Uh-huh. Like
Yeah,
smiling.
yeah,
That
mhm,
is so cool. That is so cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what were some things that you would say um, made you feel like kind of uncomfortable? Anything?
The mosquitoes.
Ah, another good reason not to go.
The mosquitoes, and there's some other bug that they're the sand fleas, or it starts with an N. I don't know what the name of the bug is, but once they
Nasty.
bite, yeah, once they bite you, you have these tiny little bumps on you for like, I don't know. I think it took like 2 weeks to heal. So that
Oh.
was next time I go, I'm just going to be wearing pants and long sleeves, even though it's
Oh.
hot. Yeah,
Oh, was it what? Yeah. When did you go and what was the weather like?
I think I went in March. So
Okay. Yeah, like a year ago. I
yeah, about
thought
a year
so.
ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It was just hot because it's in, it's the equator. So
yeah, I know now. I was in China last year in June, which was like not the brightest crayon in the box move for timing. I won't go until the fall. I'm
mhm.
allergic to hot too, so
Oh yeah.
it's horrible.
Mhm.
So 2 weeks, and you did a write up in David's guide.
Oh, I haven't actually done a write up yet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Okay,
going to I'm going to pitch the story to National Geographic, but I haven't
great.
in touch with them yet. So
Yeah, yeah, I know. You've got a lot. You've got a lot going on, and I guess that makes me feel better because I was waiting for my article to come out for a little bit, and and then he's doing a lot of stuff. But when we come back after break, we're going to pause for news, weather, and traffic. And a word from the sponsor. But when we come back, we're going to talk a bit about how David sees Dr. Marissa, and in the wonderful article that he just is hot off the press. When we come back, don't go away. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Chuck Woolery says 2 minutes. It's not going to be that long, but it's peace in and peace out, world peace through inner peace from my end. Don't go away. We'll be right back with David Christopher Lee.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, home to the Asian Oprah and number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel where you can watch and listen. So free subscribe and give me the finger. Not that one, but this one. And you can join me every weekday morning. Thanks to COVID, I was promoted to this slot, so I get to come at you every day. Tuesdays is my special series called #Tuesday Talent. And today we have back in studio someone I met a year ago thanks to social media. I think it was on Instagram. He messaged me and said, I'd like to feature you in David's Guide. So please welcome back David Christopher Lee. Hold on. Can you tell I like affirming? So,
Yes.
I wanted to. You are a writer. You're an excellent writer. I actually had a nice compliment from my stylist, who's responsible for this the cover look and my signature look for being. I'm all about balance, so my hair is unbalanced, and the natural blonde that I am. And I sent him. I was reading it for the first time when he was doing my hair, and he's like, "What's that?" And he has borderline ADHD, so he's like, "Send that to me," and I'm thinking he's not going to read it because it is a nice, thorough piece, right? It goes on for a bit, and he read the whole thing. So for him, he said to make sure I told you that your writing is so good that he actually sat and read the whole thing in one sitting, which he never does, sort of thing. So he wanted me to pass on that compliment. So that's from Jerome. And he really enjoyed it. And I did also read it for my Chinese mom and for my bonus dad. And they also say that you have captured me in a way that not other. I'm interviewed quite a bit, and the way that you did almost like a surround sound on my life and the way I've approached my life was kind of new. So I wanted to also appreciate you on the show in public and to say 谢谢, which is Mandarin for thank you, in the way that you wrote and highlighted my life. So thank you. That's the formal thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So was there, like, I'm just curious because I didn't know what your first impressions of me were to even want to do the write up. So I guess I'm always curious about, you want to know what your first impressions are, or as a way, not that I want to change myself, but just to make sure that my intent is the same as my impact. And I do this with my executive coaching clients, my happiness coaching clients, is people always are saying, what is the legacy you want to lead, or what do you want to be known for? And what you wrote was um, a little different than what I'm used to being sort of shown as. You saw on the little promo there, on the sizzle, that I did on purpose, because like I'm known for certain branding or certain things. I'm just curious as to what caught your eye in what I was doing that made you say, I want to do a write up.
Well, the reason why I wanted to do a write up on you was because you're so unique. You're interviewing people every single day, so that shows consistency and passion, and it's hard to keep doing something all the time. So you really have to be passionate about, and that's what I love to be passionate too. So I've been a journalist for 26 years, and I've been doing the same thing also. So writing, photography, doing videos, telling stories, and it's not always easy sometimes, because sometimes you don't get the recognition for it or the appreciation. So I just felt like you needed something, so that's why I did it.
Uh, um, the Asian slant. So it's not Asian American month or anything, but I am reminded of, I think it was about now, when all of that Asian hate was happening in 2020.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at, what was I watching? I was watching, one of my shows came up, and I had done this commercial with some notable Asian actors, news anchors, on Stop Asian Hate. And I totally forgotten that I had done that. So any of that
Any of that for what?
for why, when you were saying that I wasn't necessarily getting the recognition.
Hmm. Well, I just think it's not just about being Asian. It's just in general, when as creators, when we create things, people tend to overlook us, or they just don't say, it's a lot of work to do these interviews and to tell these stories, and a lot of follow-up too. So there's pre-production, there's actually doing the show, and then there's post-production and follow-up and promotion. So it's literally like tons and tons of work. So that's
Like
that's
three,
why.
three, three, three full-time jobs.
Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I think as Asian Americans, um, a lot of times we just get overlooked, and we just don't get the support. I mean, even for me, even in the Asian community, I don't really get a lot of support from them. But
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I was introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah. It is
Hmm.
an honor to be called that.
Yeah.
This Asian group actually first introduced me on stage to get an award as the Asian Oprah. And I knew I was going to forget. I have great memory, but my recall sucks.
Mhm.
But when they first introduced me, I think I was getting it was 2012 maybe, or 14, where I was getting the Asian Heritage Award or Asian something award. And they introduced me as the Asian Oprah. This was before I was introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah.
Mhm.
And they just called me that. And I remember going, whoa, those are like way too big shoes to step into. And I, never repeated those, the title. And thinking that would also be, when I did finally step into them, I thought I would be sort of embraced by a lot of different Asian community groups, and it didn't happen. So you and I have that in common, and it's really, it's interesting. Going back to China last year, speaking on two platforms at two universities, um, and I had a meeting with CICT, the largest government
Oh, CCTV.
broadcast. Thank you.
Mhm.
Broadcast network,
Mhm.
and I met with them asking about having 8 Ways to Happiness translated, because they have a publishing arm. And what was interesting was they embraced me almost more so than the Asian groups here.
I think what it is with the Asian groups is like it's such a small, like they're very cliquey. So unless you're in that little group, then they don't want to bring you in. So unfortunate, but maybe things will change in the future.
Yeah, I just find that very odd. I've had more coverage like the daily, the World Report, the China World Report. Yeah, like their write-ups, and Marie Claire China. So there's recognition, but not on like a local uh Asian community level. Interesting. So I didn't know that you also experienced that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's okay. I think we just have to keep on. Maybe what we're doing is just a little too. It's a little too out there for them. So we're not doing Netflix. We're not producing movies or something like that where they can understand what that is. So traditionally with Asian culture, it's like we're told, oh, you have to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, right? So that's only like three things. So now with this whole Asian movement, they're all about being on Netflix and like TV and streaming services and all of that. So we don't really fit into that category. So I don't think we fit in that box, right?
Yeah, we're out of the box on many different many different storage room boxes.
Mhm.
If you've just tuned in and wondering what's going on in studio today, I have a special repeat guest. His name is David Christopher Lee. He is my favorite celebrity photographer and writer, since he just finished a really beautiful article on yours truly. You can find it in David's guide, which is a free subscribe, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can read up on what I've been sort of. He does a nice job synopsizing, if I can make that word up, of the essence of me and my life, and makes the Energizer Bunny part of me sound really good.
Well, we had a whole. I think we had it was an hour and a half of talking and asking you questions. So I took all of that and I summarized it to show the best picture of you that I could, because your background when it comes, you come from education and then the corporate world, and then now you're truly living your passion. So that's what the whole story is about.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like, it reminded me a couple things as I was reading it. I had a client who said, "You really should charge for three people, because you you do like three," which I really enjoyed. Um, but yeah, it gave me a chance to um like kind of rear view mirror all the things that I may have like not seen the connection for, but there are some themes that you brought up around really the no fear that stepping into, well, what is it that I want to do? And I can definitely say it's almost directly related to the pain that I had in life when you're young and you are told you're not all that and you aren't good enough and you are not the chatter, right, in that you were talking about, the head and the insecurity and all of that. It's a really good training ground to uh I got nothing to lose. Right, or let me prove you wrong. So I think that it's so wonderful that, and you didn't talk about that, which I usually talk about. So it was kind of cool to read it too from a frame of um, almost the flip side. You don't have to necessarily have a lot of trauma in life to also grab life by the cojones
Mhm.
to do it. It's that this BS, the belief system that we can only do one thing, or the belief system that, no matter how much you change, too bad, you're locked into whatever that is, right? Or other people's expectations of you, or, I hate that expression, jack of all trades, master of none. I'm
Me too, because
single-handedly.
it doesn't. I don't think it's a true thing.
It is
It's
not a
like,
true thing,
no, because you can like, just because you're curious about something and you want to learn something, it doesn't make you bad.
but that's
So
not the, yeah,
also, when you're learning, let's say you're learning 10 different things, well, guess what? Somehow they're all related, and you're able to pull from that piece and this piece and this piece and put them together. It's not that you don't know how to do them. Like, at least you know something. There's some people that only know one thing. So if you only know one thing, then you're super limited.
right. And yet that is the overt and covert message to most, at least in America, well,
Yeah,
actually, pretty much,
everywhere.
any achievement oriented culture, right,
Mhm,
tells you, uh, you start getting, what do you want to be when you grow up? One thing,
mhm.
right? What's your major? One thing,
No,
right?
but
Double
that's silly.
major.
That's so silly. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm happy to tell you that it is definitely moving, and there's one reason why, and I'm not going to take credit for it, but for the first time I saw a glimmer of hope when someone said to me about a month or 2 months ago, um, "You're a multi hyphenate," and I said, is that a compliment? Or, and it's so like, I didn't even know what it was. And they said, oh no, you're someone who does more than one thing well. And I went, OMG, we are finally having a way to uh, encapsulate what the truth of life is. There's no, I'm not like weird anymore. Like, there's other people who have this label of multi hyphenate, and that it's a good thing, and that it's really a movement that I'm so grateful that I have verbiage to speak about it, because I think it's the one thing that makes so many people unhappy. My work as an organizational psychologist, working with people who hate their jobs, like the majority of people. I do these like all hands on strategic planning sessions, and I would say, there's 20% who are really fired up for the company or the position or their work. And then there's 60 that couldn't care less and 20 that hate it. Right. So it's like the majority are like, just tell me what to do, give me the paycheck. Don't ask me what I think, because when I tell you, you don't really care. And it's so sad that there's so many who are doing that at work. And then they say, I live for my weekends, or, life starts when I come home, except that you're so irritated from work that it takes you 2 hours to decompress at home, and then you're exhausted because you got to take care of your family, and then you go to bed and forget to floss, and then it starts over again. And that is a lot of what I see, and no wonder we're not happy. No wonder people are taking antidepressants, and then not only do the antidepressants not work, they're taking pills to help the antidepressant work better. Like, and the side effects are like, worse than the feeling you get. Like, that's screwed up.
Yeah, for sure.
This is like, what is going on? So if we can promote and live and say, do you want to live more than what is it, 30, I calculated 32% of your life happy because you're only living for your weekends or after work? How about you know like you said, don't give up everything you're doing that's making you money. That's like the worst thing is,
No, don't do that.
yeah.
Don't be delusional. I've seen people do that, and it's
Yeah,
just
I've
not
seen
good.
it too. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And I'm embarrassed that a lot of the people that are taking the money are in my field of self-development. And it just it's horrible. Their life savings goes into, oh, I'm gonna become a jewelry maker or something like that. And they don't have any business
They don't
understanding.
know anything
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Learn, you have
Yeah.
to
It
know.
is super super sad. So don't, and I love what you said about like every single thing you do in life, like every single, you have a mastery of engineering, or you have a mastery of writing, or you have a mastery, whatever field you started in and are good at, don't throw it out. Like,
Mm-mm.
that is a building block to other things. I would say my 8 jobs, a lot of them are horizontal integration, right? Some are vertical, some are horizontal, which just means it's in a related field or it's a completely different field. But people say, what's the key to your success? And I say, when someone says, do you know how to do this? I'll say, yes. Now, what was it you wanted? And I'll learn it. I'll say yes. And then I know that I can learn things quite quickly. That's one of my unique talents, gifts, and abilities. So I will say, what is it you want? And then I'll go and learn it. Do I have 10,000 hours? No, but I do know a little more. And the more practice I get, this whole BS belief system that we have to, have a lifetime of experience before you can know how to do something, that's bullshit hockey. You can, with social media, not social media, with internet, there's lots of places you can learn things easily. I mean, look at YouTube. I love YouTube because there's people sharing their expertise, right?
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot of things. Sorry, that was
But
my
also,
soapbox.
I believe, I believe that we all, we've all had past lives too. So something could be just so natural, and you'll just be so good at it. So you might just be so good at something that you don't know anything about, but somehow you're really good at it. Like, for instance, the very first time I ever did archery, I got 15 bullseyes in a row. Like, I didn't even know, like, I had no practice or anything, but my the reason why I was so good at archery was because I think, well, when I was little, I had really bad eyesight. I had like -6. So basically, when I had to read like this.
Oh, wow.
Unless I had my
Yes.
glasses. But so basically, like, everywhere I looked, it was like everything was a blob if I didn't have my glasses. But I had to figure out in my brain, like, what is that blob? Like, oh, that blob, that's Marissa. That blob.
Mm.
So that was like a brain blurry connection. So after I got LASIK, everything was just so crystal clear. And then also, since I'm a photographer, I'm used to holding the camera really still. So my theory was that since I'm able to, I'm able to look at blurry things and comprehend them, and then I'm also able to hold the camera really still. That's why I was so good at archery.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you were going to say in your past life you were Robin Tell with the
Robin Hood.
archer and the William
I
Tell.
might I might have been. Who knows?
But it's more an example of what I was saying is that when you have trauma like bad eyesight, right?
Mhm.
It's not
You
you weren't
learn.
being punished or anything. You're being chiseled into doing something really well, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's a great example because you adjusted and you learned. That's why my friend Larry Wilkes, who's on the other side now with my bonus mom, he would say the only handicap, and I know we're not supposed to use that word, but he used this as an expression. The only handicap in life is a bad attitude.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. And guess what my eyesight was growing up, David?
What?
-9.
Oh wow. Okay, so we're almost twins.
We are almost twins.
So you know what it's
I had 2 LASIKs done.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. You definitely are a brother from a different mother.
Yeah.
So we're almost at the end. Can you believe that went very quickly as usual? Final word from you. What's your keeper for today's show? What do you want to remember about this time here?
About this. What do you mean, just this time here?
Just yeah. I do a keepers exercise whenever I work with anyone, speak with anyone, for any amount of time. Like when someone asks you, so what did you do today? What's the one thing you want to remember about this particular hour that
Okay.
you would communicate?
Just like I just love hanging out with you because you're so passionate, and I'm a passionate person too. So I just like to be around people that are authentic, passionate, and real.
And my keeper is ditto, ditto, ditto. And I'm really, I'm forever grateful to social media for the ability to connect with like-minded, love-hearted people. And that's my final word today. Thank you so much. It's David Christopher Lee. You can find him everywhere if you look for David C. Lee, right? On a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Your website,
DCLee.net.
DCLee.net. David's guide, Dr. Marissa. If you Google that, I think it'll probably pop up.
Yeah.
For the article. And support him, go follow him, and look for his latest stuff. You can also hire him to do things for coverage. I know that he does weddings too.
I don't do weddings.
Oh, you don't? I'm sorry. What did I see you do?
I've shot 3. I've shot 3 weddings, but like, I mean, those were just like the most fantastic weddings ever.
Okay.
Like we played elephant polo at one of them, so it was on that kind of level.
Okay, so that's why I thought it was wedding. So
Yeah.
unless you have elephants in your wedding, he's not going to do it. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, you know the drill. Fingers up. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live in San Diego. Wishing you, don't forget, tune in tomorrow, all week with me. But now go and have the best day ever. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Take back your life.